my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brittany, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how I chose my esthetician school and why I decided to go with this school in particular. Stay tuned until the end of this video where I share my personal tips on what to look for when you visit these schools that could really make all the difference when making sure the school is right for you. Back in February of 2019, I was pregnant with my son, and I also was going to school for sustainable tourism and hospitality. Now, the field that I was going for a career in at that point was something that I was dead set on. The thing is that my son was actually supposed to be born in March, and he ended up being born in February. When he was born, it seemed like everything changed. My responsibilities obviously changed. My mindset changed. I didn't want to be that person I was before he was born. I wanted something new. I started to look into every career option I possibly could look into, and I didn't see myself doing anything. And then I thought about it after I was heading down the rabbit hole watching beauty YouTubers, and I said, you know what? I want to be a makeup artist. October of 2019, I started looking into cosmetology schools. There were several schools in the area that in particular allowed me to go to school to become an esthetician and go into makeup artistry. So I went ahead and dove in and booked several appointments with schools just to kind of take a peek and see what was going on. The first school that I went to was fantastic in my mind, okay? So I was looking for a part-time school so that way I could still work, still be at home sometimes, and still be able to obtain my schooling. This school also had a lot of different certifications that you could obtain if you were at school that day, including like microdermabrasion and all the fun stuff that all estheticians want to learn. Now, I will say at this point in time, I was looking for makeup artistry. And when I went in and I talked to the advisor, she sat me down and she said, all right, well, what program are you interested in? And I told her makeup artistry. She flat out told me, you will not make money in that career.
Tinny Winnie Manny say what?
I was taken back. I was like, okay. Well, what would you suggest? She told me, you know what? Everybody wants to get their hair done. Everyone. Not everybody wants to get their makeup done. You'll just be doing weddings, and not everybody's getting married, and not everybody needs to have their makeup done for their birthday. Like basically putting down makeup artistry. Me, being myself, I was polite and I said, okay, well, what would you suggest? You should go into the cosmetology. Do you want to work for yourself? Well, yeah, I would love to work for myself. Let's put you in the spa and leadership program. Okay? I listened to her. I listened to all of her spiel. She took me on a tour. I was actually pretty excited to attend the school, even though she persuaded me into doing hair. I went and talked to financial aid, and to be honest, with all my past schooling, I was getting close to using all of my student loans that were possible, and I needed to make a decision whether cosmetology was the route I wanted to go or if I preferred to go a different route. At that point, I decided I needed to go home, I needed to talk to my family, and I needed to also explore some other schools. I also looked into ESTHETICIAN because we have several in the area. While I really liked ESTHETICIAN, it was an hour-and-a-half drive for me to get there and then an hour-and-a-half back, and it was going to be 4 days a week. When I look back now, it wouldn't have been possible. It just wouldn't have happened, and I was so dead set on it. I was very distraught when my family said it wasn't possible. It was a good thing, guys. Again, I looked for cosmetology school at that point because that first advisor drilled it in my head that I would not be successful if I did not do hair. I am not a hair person, guys. This is as good as it gets. May of 2020, I decided that I was ready to go back to school with everything in the world going on, and I decided to look into that original school again. And the thing is that the original school was not holding in-session classes. They were having us learn from home, and then when they opened back up, we would be allowed to go on the floor and start practicing those skills. So I was like, okay, this is perfectly doable with my son at home. Let's go for it. Went back in and talked to the advisor, and I really sat down with him and I told him my concerns about how I felt like I was being pressured into making a choice. And he said, do you feel like cosmetology is for you? And I said, I think I can learn it, but I think I'm gonna go the esthetician route. And he said, that's great. Let's go ahead and get you into this program. It starts next week. What? I was only going to this school to get new information on the sessions that they were offering with everything going on. And on top of that, I hadn't even really talked to my family about this new opportunity. So I went in with the expectation that I was just gonna be getting information. I'd come home and then I would be talking to my family and decide whether or not I would enroll. The guy straight up put me into the financial aid office, started getting everything together, and set me up for orientation. I had this pit feeling in my stomach that I was just making a terrible, terrible decision, and I made an excuse that I had to leave. I had already been there for about 3 hours that day, and I was only expecting about 30 minutes long. I made an excuse and I got out of there. I kept getting phone calls over the courses of the next week asking me what had changed, why I didn't want to pursue going to that school. And I told them, I said, you know what? I said, I think that I just need to hold off right now. Something is not sitting right. The guy told me I was making excuses, that I was putting my education on the back burner again, and I wasn't doing something to better myself and my son's life. And that didn't sit right with me, coming from an advisor from a school. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I didn't feel like it was his place to tell me what I was doing right and wrong. Well, I decided not to attend that school at all. I scratched it off my list, never looked back, threw out all the paperwork. Like, it was a no-go. And at that point, I kind of gave up. About a month ago, I started looking again. But this time, I looked for esthetician school. I looked into esthetician school and I found one that is 20 minutes away from my house, and they specialize obviously in esthetician care, and they teach you microdermabrasion, they teach you lashes, and they teach you how to spray tan. The best part about this school is that it is only on the weekends from 8 to 6 p.m. for the session that they had opened up. And on top of that, rather than paying tuition and working for free, they allow you to complete services during your school time to pay off your education. And after they told me all the benefits of their program, I couldn't say no. So I filled out all the application information while I was there, and I came home and I told my family, I have to do this. The big thing with this school, I found them through a random web search. However, they had an article written on them back in March, and it was nothing but positivity from that review. And it was a reliable source too. It wasn't just a random web article. The other thing is that when I went in to meet with them, they were honest. They had a schedule that fit my schedule as a mom. They had a system in place that shows you that they prepare you for success. And on top of that, it's affordable. All these other schools I was looking at, they were about 15 grand. This school in particular will cost me less than 5. I'm super excited to start school, and I can't wait to take you guys along with me. I want to go ahead and give you those tips that I used when I was looking at schools to tell me which school was the right one. Alright guys, so I promised you that I would share with you what I think you should look for and avoid when choosing your esthetician school or cosmetology. Number 1, when you look around in the environment, are the students there happy? Are they warm and friendly? Or are they walking around the place looking like they're bored, trying to find things to do, and just angry? When I went to the first school, and the school that I almost enrolled with in the first place, every single student there looked bored, out of their mind bored. And it was something in my gut that told me I didn't want to go there, but I almost did anyways. Number 2, are there people getting services done in that facility? This is a big one, guys. It's something we don't think about. When you are done with your book training, you are going to be on the floor performing the services on people to be ready for your boards and also to prepare you for when you're on your own outside school. If your school does not receive many people for services, you are not going to get the experience that you need to be confident when you graduate. Number 3, do they teach more than just the basics? Do they provide you microdermabrasion? Do they teach you how to do lashes? Those are crucial in our society today. People want lashes. People want microdermabrasion. Those things are gonna help you when you try to find a job, and finding a school that allows you to learn those services as a part of your tuition versus sending you elsewhere afterwards is an A+. Number 4, it's a big one. Do they respect your choice in career? Or do they tell you you're not going to succeed and you need to go another route? If they tell you the second one, walk out that door and don't look back. Number 5, do they allow you to make the choices on your own, or do they rush you into them? Do they give you time to think? If a school is pressuring you to sign up right then and there, they are not thinking of your best interest. They are trying to get you to make a quick decision to help them in their job position, versus letting you think about whether the school, the environment, and the education is going to be right for you. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I know that that was a long video, but I really felt like I needed to share with you guys why I went with the school that I went with and a little bit about my journey along the way before we just started to dive on in to all of the esthetician school experience. If you are a prospective student in the cosmetology or esthetician field, I really do hope that this video will help you when making your decision on which school to attend. If you are a current esthetician or cosmetology student, or if you are looking on going into the field, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to connect with you guys and really cheer you on along your journey. Anyways, I think that's time to wrap up this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe and ring the bell, as it really supports my channel. I will see you guys in the next one.